Good
Okay.
evening, good day, or good afternoon, and welcome to Tarot Thursday. I'm your host, Reverend Mary Hawk, and with me is Reverend Don Lewis.
Hello, hello.
Thank you, thank you for joining me, Reverend Don.
Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. And we are here to do three card, more or less, readings. If you want to go ahead and post your question in chat on whatever platform you're watching on, and we'll be happy to do a reading. Or if you don't have a question, you can just say hi and tell us where you're from. And hello to Hippie Janet, and hello to Renee. Good to see you both.
Yes.
So, how is the weather in Danville today?
Well, while I was out, it was lovely. We had rain this morning. We have rain now, but it was nice while we were out.
It
The
was
local
absolute.
rivers are getting back to normal because we had been dealing with drought conditions here.
Right. And hello to Janet W. And let's see here. Lena has asked, do you see me getting my car license this year? All right. And then Marie, who is actually Renee, has asked for a general reading.
Okay.
And Janet says it was nice and warm in Janville. Hello to Lucas.
Oh, hello, Janet, and hello, Lucas.
Okay, Alina, I've got the Six of Cups, which suggests reconnecting with an old friend, also a card of good fortune. I've got the Fluffy, which is about making the best of a bad situation. And I've got the Eight of Wands, which is about a situation that moves quickly. And then the Four of Swords, which is about a rest period. So overall, I'm going to say yes, I think you will get it this year if you work at it.
And I have drawn the Nine of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. And the Nine of Swords is the ghastly nightmare card. It means that what you don't want to have to deal with in this situation, you do in fact have to deal with. The good news is that if you deal with it head on, it will be much easier than you're expecting. You're perhaps building it into a much bigger problem in your mind than it is in reality. So take the bull by the horns and do what you need to do to achieve this goal. Another person will be involved in it, spouse, friend, sympathetic official. Some other person will be helpful. And, part of it is you have to make the decision to go forward and do it. And it will require your judgment along the way. Now, I also drew a Brian card, and I drew the King of Cups. King of Cups is happiness. So I'm inclined to say that as long as you make the decision to do it and you proceed forward, that yes, you will get it this year. And you'll be happy with it when you do.
And Anissa says, our friend roommate Goldie Thomas has wandered off on March 15th and hasn't been heard from since. Please pray for her return.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Do we want to take a moment and do that?
Yes.
Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we ask you to join with us to bring about the safety and the safe return of Goldie Thomas. And that was of Goldie Thomas. Bring her back safely, bring her back soon, and send her whatever help that she needs to be able to come back. And we pray that you will be with her and assist her and bring her back to her loved ones. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we thank you. May the blessing be upon you now and always. So mote it be.
So mote it be.
Okay.
All right. And next we've got Renee, who has asked for a general reading. Okay, well, the first card I've got for you is the moon. So, and then we've got the tower. And then we've got temperance. So the moon suggests that you need to be working, there's an outcome that you want to bring about, and you're going to need to be using magic and ritual to get there. Of course, tower is about transformation, and especially breaking loose from patterns that don't serve you anymore. And then with temperance, we've got the idea of taking a lot of different elements and weaving them together to make something completely new. And that really goes along with the idea of the tower as well. So I hope you find that helpful.
And I have drawn temperance, the Three of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So temperance basically is creating new situations, taking what's around you, often taking parts of what's already there, what already exists, and creating something new and different from it. So you're going to find yourself in a period of recreation as you go forward. The Three of Wands is celebration and community, and it says that, you'll be very happy with where you're going. You'll be very happy with what you're doing and how you're recreating those things. And the Six of Wands is victory, and says that in the goals that you have, you will be successful. So enjoy. Yeah, it looks good. Should I draw a Brian card? Just for
Sure.
old time's sake. I've drawn the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords is changes in relationships. So as you're recreating things and moving forward, you may find that some new people are coming around you, some old people are perhaps no longer around you. There'll be changes in the personnel, so to speak. And I don't perceive that as necessarily good or bad. It simply is what it is. And there you go.
And let's see. Lena says thank you. Anissa says thank you. And Hippie Janet has asked for a general reading for the week. And we need to note we have two Janets in the chat room. We have Hippie Janet and Janet W. Just so we and they are aware.
And did you say this was a general reading for the week specifically?
It is.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I've got the Five of Swords, so you're going to be dealing with some kind of conflict this week. I've also got the Chariot. So this suggests movement, traveling. I'm also reading it that you're going to be able to deal with the conflict. Just be aware that it's coming. I've got the Princess of Lamps. So you are going to need magic to deal with your situation. And I'm going to draw the Brian card. And I get the Nine of Pentacles. So this says you're going to be in a good position overall.
And the three cards that I have drawn are the King of Cups. King of Cups is happiness. So it's saying that, you know, whatever else we're seeing here, overall the situation is happy. And you'll be happy with the overall energies. We have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a bit of a timeout or a rest period. It says that you might not be able to do everything that you want to do right at this time. And it might be better to just be patient for it and let it take the time that it needs. With that, we have the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups, you can see the little man in the picture is hiding from the phantoms. But the moral of the card is they are, in the end, just phantoms. So you may find yourself worried about situations. You may find yourself a little frightened about some of those situations or feeling like they're really difficult to do. Don't allow them to psych you out. Face them down and take care of them, and they will be fine. They are only phantoms. And for a Brian card, I've drawn the Four of Coins, which is stability. So I would not look for a lot of changes in this week. So if there are things that you're wanting to do or accomplish, be patient for them. But otherwise, things look pretty stable, and that's good. And there you go.
All right. And now Janet Winston, or Janet W. has asked for a reading.
Janet and Otro Janet.
Okay. So I've got the Ten of Swords, which means you're coming to the end of a cycle. You're completing something. I have the Ten of Pentacles, which means you're going to be in a good position regarding money and material things. I have the Prince of Cups. So this is about speaking your truth. Be real about what you're thinking and feeling. And then I drew the Veil for a Brian card. So you can expect some hidden things to be revealed to you.
And I have drawn the Four of Lamps, which is looking for guidance, considering possibilities, wanting a little clarity on how to proceed with those possibilities. Six of Swords is a journey. I'd also take it in this case as moving forward with things that you want to do. It can be physically a journey, but more likely it's an internal journey, learning from the actions that you're taking. You will feel like you've been on a journey, whether it's physical or not. And the Hierophant, which says, pay attention to your spiritual guidance. It will be the guidance that you are looking for in your situations. It will give you the answers that you need. And with those answers, go forward, and you will find that your path is open. We have for a Brian card, death, and death is transformation and rebirth. And so the things that you're working on at this time in the situation you're going through, it's going to be very revitalizing to you. It's going to be a bit of a rebirth, a bit of a new beginning for you. So very positive. And again, listen to your spiritual guidance. It will give you the answers that you need to do the right things. And there you go.
All right. I hope that's helpful, Janet W. Hippie Janet, you're very welcome.
Yes, indeed.
And Lucas has asked for a general reading for the first of the month. And I will throw this up here. If you would like to give us a tip, you can do that at PayPal.
So we have a similar situation at the auction. We have Jason and we have Otro Jason. The general consensus is it's perfectly fine for them both to be at the auction as long as they never touch. If they touch, the time-space continuum will be warped. But as long as they keep their distance from each other, everything is fine.
Interesting. Well, I know one of the Jasons. Well, I know one of the Jasons. Yeah. All right. First card I've got for you, Lucas, is the Two of Lamps. And this is about helping others as you are able. I've got Temperance. Is this the third time for Temperance tonight?
I believe it is.
All right. So Temperance is about taking many different pieces and putting them together to form something new. And then I've got the Three of Cups, which is about celebrating with family and friends. And I've got the Eight of Wands. So expect things to overall move quickly this month.
And I have drawn the Princess of Coins. And the Princess of Coins says that to deal with the things that you have before you during this time period, you have everything that you need. You know everything you need to know. You have all the skills you need to have. You've got all the stuff you need to have. You just have to do it. And I used to compare this card to someone sitting in their room looking out the window at the park and thinking, well, wouldn't it be nice to be in the park? But all they have to do is go outside and they're in the park, but they're in their room. So this says what you want to do, don't hold back, don't hesitate, don't procrastinate, go ahead and do it. And you'll find that you have everything you need.
Can we call it the Nike card?
I suppose we could, yes. Then we have the Queen of Wands, which is prosperity and abundance and passionate activity, often associated with the idea of harvest. So it's kind of saying if you do what you want to do, it's going to lead to good outcomes. And finally, we have the Ace of Lamps, which is spirituality, which says to me that this is not only something that's important in your life, but it's important in your spirit as well. Whatever it is that you're going to be looking at doing and maybe having to fight yourself a little bit to do is very important to your spiritual development. And that's pretty much what you have to deal with in this coming month. Let us draw a Brian card, however. Oh, and they've thrown out the Ten of Cups to us, which says, yes, all of that is true, but overall, it's going to be a good, happy situation. So it's not like you need to worry about any of that. But when you know what you need to do, you should still do it. And there you go.
You're very welcome. Lucas says thank you, as does Janet W.
You're very welcome.
Well, given that so much has happened in the past couple of days for our country, do you think we should do a reading for the U.S. for
Sure.
the month?
Gee, what possible things can you be referring to?
And I feel like maybe I should check the news right quick because I haven't looked at it in over an hour. So maybe something I'm unaware.
I have to say that the bimbofication of public figures was not on my not on my bingo card, at least in the way it played out. Am I surprised?
I have come to the conclusion that whatever the Republican Party accuses the Democratic Party of, they are doing.
It certainly seems to me that whatever moral crusaders are crusading against is their private kink.
Yes. So having seen the picture, oh my God.
Not on the bingo card.
No, not on the bingo card. And I feel like it should probably I feel like as a nation we're owed an apology for that picture.
It certainly wasn't the most flattering picture.
Mm-hmm.
You drew the bimbo card?
You tell me. You drew the deck. Okay, so seriously, I've got heart, which means that Emotions are running very high at the moment, which is very true. I've got the Seven of Cups, which also says that there are a lot of options. And I was thinking of the US as a country.
Mm-hmm.
So we have options, folks. I've got the Ten of Wands, which indicates a waiting period. And then I've got the Two of Wands, which indicates starting something new.
Alrighty then. And I drew the Three of Wands, which is celebration and community, and suggests that some good things are going to be happening, which we certainly could use.
Yes.
And there will be things for people to be quite happy about during this period. We have the Two of Cups. Now, there are a couple of ways we could take this, but I think I'm going to take it to say that we need to remember the most important things are our actual lives and relationships and keep our focus on that. And then we have the Chariot, which is moving forward. I usually understand that as a positive movement forward. So again, I'd say there may be some good things coming. Let us draw a Brian card. And I've drawn the Prince of Cups. And the Prince of Cups is artistic expression. Expression of personality, expression of ideas. And given the general state of the country, personally, I think we have people expressing far too many things, but apparently that will continue. A little diplomacy would not hurt anything, in my opinion.
I'm sorry. I'm just hearing that song Express Yourself now. Who sang it?
Apparently, Byron Nome. Because he certainly was expressing himself.
Yes, he was.
And you know, when we encounter these situations, we want to be careful with how we speak of them, because we don't want to, as they say, we don't want to kink shame the poor puppy, if you'll pardon the expression. But at the same time, the inherent problem isn't that he had this particular, basically harmless kink, but the fact that they didn't want anyone else to be able to do it. And they were actively persecuting other people.
The hypocrisy that is the issue.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly offer Byron Nome all of my support in his cross-dressing journey. As a person, I would hope that he would have a more enlightened point of view, given the status of things. But for some reason, apparently, he has not in the past. But perhaps now that everyone knows. And normally, I would not approve, because I understand it was one of the many prostitutes he used who turned him in. Or, well, not turned him in, but made it public and released his photos and so forth. But she was part of a marginalized community that his people are attacking. So what did he expect to happen? I do consider it an exception to what I would consider appropriate behavior.
I
So if
will
you're a
say
sex worker and you're watching this program and you have prominent clients who are busy being moral watchdogs, condemning the very things they're doing with you, by all means, out them.
yes, please. And I'm just going to share my experience. When I was single, I used to get the nastiest uh, comments from married Christian men.
Mm-hmm.
It truly disgusting. That was
Yeah,
my experience as a single woman.
yeah. Here in
Absolutely vile.
Illinois, we had a string of prominently gay governors who were Republican and certainly kept that very secret. They had wives and children and the whole front going on, but people in the gay community knew better because it was very well known. But all that time we were moving forward um, in terms of people's rights and understanding of people's rights. They were not out there condemning the behavior, even though they were keeping their personal behavior private. And I look at that very differently than someone who's trying to persecute other people for what they themselves are doing.
Exactly.
Okay,
All right.
where are we? Are we out of
Would
questions?
would anyone else like a reading? And out hypocrites.
You know, I was always a great believer in non-judgment of other people, except in that kind of situation. If you're going to be hurting people, then at least be living what you're claiming.
Yes. How's the book coming along, Mary?
I finally got
Not
mine now.
gotten. Yeah, I have not gotten much further with mine, although I got 2 events going at once. So,
Maybe after.
yes.
And for all the people who are waiting on their Tarot of Hecate that they pre-ordered some time ago, as you know, it's been a bit of a struggle getting this particular batch printed. And we were out looking for a new company, and we had to retool the artwork and so forth. Anyway, I'm hoping to be able to make an announcement regarding a delivery date within the next few days. So if you're waiting on one, and at least one person in the chat room is, there will soon be an announcement for when you can expect it. Yay!
Wonderful. That is excellent news.
It is.
Yeah. Hippie
and
Janet says she's on pins and needles for it.
it won't be much longer. And well, however long it's going to take them to ship them to us, and then we will ship them out, but not much longer.
The end is in sight.
The end is finally in sight. And what a road it's been. On the other hand, now that we've got everything realigned, we should not have this problem again. So, yay.
That's wonderful. So you can start taking orders again.
Yes. Maybe bring back some of the other decks that have not been available.
That would be wonderful.
Can we say Santa Tarot?
Yes.
And Janet says the goal line is in sight. Yes, it is. Yay. And Janet Winston says, I'm a bookworm for sure. I can't wait for the book to be ready.
Thank you.
We have a flight to the moon going on.
Yes, that's amazing.
How cool is that after all these years?
Yes. I do not remember the first trip flight to the moon. My mother said we watched it together on TV, and then we went outside for a walk, and she pointed to the moon and explained to me that's where the astronauts were. I looked at it very hard for a minute and said, nope, can't see them. But I was 2.5 at the time, so.
Yes. I do not have detailed memories of the first one. But the one that followed in the 70s, I remember much more strongly. And one of the things I remember is waiting up for the broadcast about it, and they had one lunar-oriented science fiction film after another playing. And one was Voyage to the Moon, another one was The Three Stooges Go to the Moon. Classics of theater.
Oh dear. I do, however, remember that for several years my brother and I had Tang for breakfast because that's what the astronauts drank.
I remember Tang. I remember liking it at the time. I don't know how I'd feel about it now, but I liked it at the time.
Well, I don't think you can get it anymore.
I don't think you can.
But yes, we had Tang for breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes we acted like we were talking to Mission Control.
Yes.
And Janet says, we sure have waited a while to venture to the moon again after Challenger.
Yeah, we've waited a long time.
Yeah, I saw Challenger.
Yeah.
In the library at school. They had hooked up a TV to let us watch it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was the experience for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was...
Hey, kids, watch this. You'll never forget it. They were right.
Exactly. I think maybe we were supposed to write a paper.
And Janet says, this is probably a distraction from something else we should be paying attention to. And I'm sure that's correct.
Lucas says, I just searched and apparently Tang is available.
Oh, cool.
Cool. Well, I will say this. I have not routinely seen it at Kroger's.
It may be more narrowly available than it once was.
I'm sure I could order it somewhere if I went and looked for it.
And it might be more regionally available now than it once than nationally. I don't
I
know.
suppose I could have some for when you come down at lustration and we can see if it's what we remember.
That would be fun.
I'm
Oh,
sure.
Janet says you can find it in these small bottles of concentrated juices. Okay.
All right.
Well, I never look in that section, so that might be why didn't know it was there.
No, I never look there either. I always think of Tang as something you mix.
Well, I'm sure it still is, but maybe they put it there now. I don't know. I remember it being with things like instant tea and so forth, but
Yeah.
that would have been 1970 something, so it doesn't count for
Yeah.
much.
I remember Mother making a pitcher of Tang that was in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe my mother did that, and other times we made it by the glass. It was very space age.
Yes.
I am curious to see as an adult what it actually tastes like. I suspect it tastes of delicious magnesium sulfate.
Probably.
Which is a common flavoring. Oh, and Janet, the other Janet says it's in the water flavor shots.
I'll
Okay.
have a look there. A snack like Slim Jims that the astronauts used to eat. I remember they used to put video about
Everything?
them pushing food up in tubes.
Yeah.
And I've been to the Space Center in Huntsville and had freeze-dried ice cream that tasted like crap. And paid for the privilege.
I was reading an article the other day about the early spacesuits and how they were made by the makers of Playtex brassieres. And it talked about how they'd managed to get the contract for this and how they were made by their best seamstresses who were sewing them on machines, which, I guess in retrospect, obviously they would have been, but I had never thought of them being put together that way. It was kind of interesting. And the reason they got the contract was that they were accustomed to making these highly structured but movable garments. And they had the skills that they needed.
All right. What did I think Goodyear had something to do with the making?
Well, they may have also. I don't know. I don't remember that, but the article talking about Playtex was talking about the suit itself, not necessarily the equipment that went with it. And they may have been making that. Someone had to.
Right. Or maybe they finished the suit once
That
it
could
was
be,
made.
yeah. Or made the materials they made it out of.
That's another possibility. But that's interesting.
Yeah. Because, they weren't making it out of cotton.
Surely
Or
not Lycra.
no, only astronaut Barbie had the Lycra spacesuit.
Oh. All right. Does anyone else would like a reading from us?
Or have an interesting discussion topic to take us further afield. Because on Tarot Thursday, you never know where conversation may go.
Have you ever had someone react very negatively when you told them you read tarot? I shared with someone I work with that I read tarot and that I have a show on Thursday nights. And their response was, well, I'd be afraid to have a tarot reading. I said, why would you be afraid? Well, what if you saw that I'm going to die?
Well, then you would hire me to make a protection spell for you.
And I said, well, it really doesn't work that way,
Yeah, it really
I have
does.
never, ever seen anyone's impending death.
I can't exactly say that, but my attitude towards it has always been that even if you do see such a thing, it's not written in stone, and you want to make that very, very clear to the person. Because I've had people who ask about certain situations, but my attitude on death is you can change your mind right up until you're there. And of course, we're not necessarily talking about your conscious mind, but what's going to happen.
Right.
And sometimes it's more conscious than you'd imagine. So just because the cards say one thing or another, your higher self still has a choice. And I think that's true
Yeah.
in most things.
Yeah.
So
I don't discussing metaphysics that deeply at this point, I don't think would have helped. So I just told her it really, really doesn't work that way.
yes.
But yeah, that was actually her comment.
Well, if she ever comes to you for a reading, you know what joke to play.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm only joking about that.
And Hippie Janet says, my friend kept reading his own cards and saw his impending death before it happened. I also pulled the same cards he did for him.
Yeah, I mean, there are occasions when cards can say that, but generally speaking, it's not what you find in a reading. And generally, when the death card comes up, it's not referring to a physical death. It's referring to transformation. But there are times that maybe a little more literal.
And in general, you can always make different choices.
Yes. I'm a great believer in the idea that we have a lot more control over these things spiritually than we normally understand. Not conscious control, but from the spiritual level. And our consciousness can influence that. So I'm a great believer in using your magic to bring about what you desire rather than just letting things be what they're going to be.
So I'm going to throw it out one more time. Does anyone else have another question for us?
It does not appear so.
Well, then we will go ahead and wrap it up early.
Yes.
And Janet says, like my friend needing medical intervention instead of self-medicating with alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Well, some people just aren't going to listen.
Yeah. We do our best to help.
Yeah.
But in the end, and Lucas says, thank you for the stream, as always. Thank you, Lucas.
Thank you for joining us.
In the end, we it's always good to try to help people, but you cannot fix anyone but yourself. You can only try to help.
Yeah. And will you close us out with a prayer?
Certainly. Divine Mother Goddess, Divine Father God, beloved ancestors, we ask you to be with us and to guide us as we go forward and to help us to know the decisions to make to guide us forward into the places we desire to be. Beloved Mother Goddess, beloved Father God, beloved ancestors, we rejoice in this walk we walk together, and we ask you to continue to be with us and to guide us as we go forward. And we give you our love and our thanks. And may the blessing be upon you now and always, and knowing you are always with us. Still from respect, we thank you for your presence, and may the blessing be upon you now and always. So mote it be.
So mote it be. And thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we'll be back next week. Blessed be.
Blessed be.